My channel. Today we are going to discuss on Dynatrace, about the Dynatrace. We are going to dive into the world of observability with basically tool Dynatrace, a powerful tool I would say that empower organization to monitor their application and infrastructure seamlessly. So in today's date, a very complex digital landscape where we are moving from monolith to microservices, understanding the performance and health of your system is crucial. So Dynatrace offers a unique architecture that not only collect vast amount of the data but now also transform into the actionable insight. So we will be starting with exploring the Dynatrace AI driven platform provides basically deep visibility into the applications and users, and how we can proactively manage and performance and deliver exceptional user experience. So whether you are a developer or IT operational or professional, it will help you. This video will help you. So let's start with the discussion. So Dynatrace comes with the two deployment type, it's on-prem and cloud. When we talk about on-prem, we will have two components. I would say three components. You have one agent, you have active gate, and you have a Dynatrace clusters. So you will basically when you start with that Dynatrace on-prem setup, what would be the flow overall? You will estimate your first of all, you will gather the requirement. What are the things you are going to monitor? What would be the critical monitoring parameters? What is expected? So you will estimate some kind of load and historical data, how much data you wanted to store, for logs, for traces, for metrics, and then based on that you will obtain a Dynatrace managed license. And further, in the second step, you will set up your Dynatrace managed cluster, and then you will install one agent, and active gate also may come into the picture. But for now, let's basic setup. We'll go with that discussion, and then we will slowly move on with the next. So next is fine tune your environment. So that's basically fourth phase you will put. So this is how you will proceed. Obtaining Dynatrace license, and then based on your requirement, and set up a Dynatrace managed cluster and installing one agent, and then fine tune. So this is how you will proceed. When we come up with the discussion, okay, let's say you got the license and you are going to set up kind of in installation. So before setup, what Dynatrace managed installer do? So basically it has a component Dynatrace server, Cassandra, Elasticsearch, a embedded active gate, and Nginx. Let me talk about a little bit, not more. Dynatrace server is a core component basically inside this, that process incoming data from one agent and handle analytics and provide the user interface for monitoring it. It manages all monitoring data and configurations. And there is a Cassandra, a distributed NoSQL database used by Dynatrace for storing monitoring data basically. It provide high availability of and scalability as well, and also allow Dynatrace to handle a large amount of data efficiently. So and there is Elasticsearch as well inside there. So it's used for log management, as you know that it has a great search capability as well. And Elasticsearch basically enable powerful querying and indexing log data, and easier to troubleshoot and analyze performance metric. And there is embedded, I took a name of ActiveGate. There is embedded ActiveGate. So an integrated ActiveGate instance that basically inside the Dynatrace server, which facilitate data collection from one agent and provide a proxy capability for secure communication. And there is Nginx, which act as a reverse proxy server that help manage and route the traffic to the Dynatrace components. So it can also basically provide SSL termination and load balancing capability. So that's overall about the component, what basically contain. And here when you see there is a we are talking about ActiveGate. So I will not talk right away, because then you will be we will be not will be in the flow. Let's talk about the this component mission control. So mission control is basically, it's basically you will give an interface to Dynatrace vendor, to handle basically they can help you, like managing license, or you can say it is a centralized management tool, I would say, in a simple word. And from where you can do the centralized monitoring, automatic update you can do a configuration, easily manage your configuration of ActiveGate, alert and notification, you can performance insight also you will get those. So it is basically, in a simple word, monitoring health, configuring alert, utilizing insight, and that's how mission control is very essential tools, and that's how it is helping. So it is good to have that when, if you really, it is also on 443. That's I would like to, and it's in cloud, so this is segregated. So these components are inside UI, user is accessing. So console, and I would say user console. So user is accessing the console, forming activity. This is overall setup for basic deployment, and I would say basic setup on-prem, and how Dynatrace help. And when basically I will add one more thing here, and let me keep this one, let me put another view. This is also on-prem, but I say pure Dynatrace manage setup. Okay, so in this deployment scenario which I am going to discuss, where Dynatrace cluster will receive the traffic from external source, such as one agent external environment, and DEM data, digital experience data, and that also come basically receive the traffic from external traffic. When we talk about external traffic, what you comes into your mind? We we need something, and our Dynatrace cluster is an on-prem, that we know this is the base, like we are in on-prem, and how we will receive the traffic from internet, what we need. So we need something, we basically Dynatrace cluster, we have to basically expose our Dynatrace cluster to external network and configure the public IP address to IP addresses. So this is what way we have, and this exposing the cluster directly to the external network is not recommended. So what we have to do? So because if we want to, for example, if we have an environment here where we have a certain one agent, for example, one agent, I can say one agent, and it's external. So let me put text here, it's external. It's not part of your on-prem, it's external data. So how you will do that? So to do that, basically we need a cluster activate. So which is basically mediate a proxy before pre-processing. Basically it provide a pre-processing. So we need a kind of a cluster active gate. So where to place a cluster active gate? Now we are taking the word name of active gate. I will say AG, and this is a cluster, then cluster AG active gate. So we have to have some cluster active gate which will receive the data from internet. Basically I will take a little bit. Okay, so we will have a clear understanding what we are trying to understand, basically visualize here. So 999, this is the port. So one agent here, agentless or mobile RAM or synthetic monitoring, or one agents, anything. One agents, you can say mobile RAM also, mobile RAM, MR and SM. Synthetic monitoring. So any data which is external, how that will flow? It will flow through 999 port HTTPS to the cluster active gate, and then cluster active gate will route to 443. So this is how basically it will flow, and the data will travel. It will act as a proxy here. You are not exposing your Dynatrace cluster directly to the internet. So you have something in between where you can easily basically act as a mediator and provide you. So here in a pure manage, we have to place some active gate as well. So let me put in this one here, I'm going to introduce active gate here, not a cluster active gate, so that that is called environment active gate, EAG. And all the agents of your on-prem agents basically will connect to EAG environment, and that EAG environment will connect to the and Dynatrace. So here the port will be, one agent will connect to the EAG. So let me delete, let me put clear cut here. Here it will be 999, always it will talk 999. And this one will be 443. This traffic will be 443. So one agent of your on-prem, whatever earlier was doing, same thing, but through a environment active gate 999 to aggregate. Basically the data will be aggregated and then single point of contact towards. So every agent will not make a connection. So I was talking about basic setup. Now we move to on-prem pure Dynatrace managed setup, and then here you can see we are accommodating the external as well, and one agent traffic, not directly we are connecting to cluster agent, we are going via EAG, so that it is centralizing basically the information. And I would like to put dash arrow, I will see dash arrow dot okay, let me try with this. So this basically EAG will also talk to the let me put a pencil here, and it will also have a connection to this cluster AG as well on basically port 999. So EAG have a secondary link as well. What I'm trying to establish here, it is giving another feature where we are utilizing EAG and connecting the environment active gate to the cluster active gate as well, and port is 999. So here I'm, how I mentioned, just understand. So there is 999 EAG communication. I put it a dotted line, so understand basically here this dotted line, why I put it. So I mentioned about dash line which I'm putting. It's a kind of secondary basically setup and secondary link. So when cluster activate will be basically acting as a for external one, and it will be configured through the basically cluster management console. So this is how it will be configured, and this dotted connection is will be utilized when there is a connection failures to direct connection for environment. This connection is failed, then we will took this as a secondary. So this is the setup of one of the setup where we talk about Dynatrace managed cluster. Is one thing is missed here. I don't know with this. Okay. So this will be. I hope this part is little bit clear. If maybe any question, we will definitely cover with the next videos while I will see the comments and try to answer those and try to basically cover that. So this is basically on-prem Dynatrace pure managed setup, which is how it will act. And then you have I'm not complicating here. So you can have this Dynatrace cluster deployed in multiple data centers, and you provide high resiliency. You have a two connection towards Dynatrace mission control. So through proxy customer defined, then it will basically resiliency will be more. So uh, to 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 basically give you a, I'm not covering going to the deep, we will be picking those information, but yes, whole and soul you will be playing with one agent connection to cluster active gateway or environment activated. There is different active gates basically comes is with the runner trace synthetic active gate as per your demand, and here environment active gate to aggregate the data. Basically here's it's provide single point towards Dynatrace cluster. So and with pure managed I would say you can increase the resiliency, and it become kind of globally distributed high availability with setup. So if you have one data center in a different location, so you can have that kind of setup as well. When we talk about cloud setup, let me take some documentation as well. So basic setup which we discussed, I was drawing through because it will make more understand when you create in front of you and show the drawings. So yes, basic setup is exactly same. You have a node and you directly connect. Then you have a cluster active gate, that's what we were discussing on that setup of basically with existing landscape. So there is a no difference. If you see it, you just use load balance and customer defined, you terminate SSL here itself, and then route the traffic to the here on cluster active gate, and then further the same way. There is a no resiliency on mission control. When we talk about next one, This is a globally distributed high availability. So here you have a proxy defined to communicate to with one data center and another data center, and those are managed cluster under the same cluster. And that cluster active gate and environment type, there is a no more complex any other component you are editing. Only you are playing with load balancer, so that your public IP you have exposed, and then load balancer configured with SSL, and then you are providing data. So it's normal setup as we discussed. So when we talk about Dynatrace tenant SaaS service, let's talk about a little bit on that part. Like we will go through with the touching some point on prem. It's not we have finished. We will come with the kind of how do the sizing as well, because I know that in a operations or implementation we come up with, okay, give me, I have a 100 agent or 100 servers, 200 servers, this is required, how you will size that, and we will come into that. So I am taking today in this session only the key point: what is the setup, overall architecture, cloud based solution, on-prem based solution, component, how the what are component communicate each other. Ports are very generic: 9999 and 443. We play with these ports. And so when talk about Dynatrace SaaS, a tenant is basically same thing as environment, but the term is used when you are using Dynatrace cloud based service. It is owned by unique space in cloud where all your monitoring happen. You don't have to worry about your maintaining, managing anything on your end. Dynatrace take care of everything in background. So a tenant is fully separated from other companies, ensuring your data private and secure. So this is basically a Dynatrace SaaS communication. So it is not that much complex, if you can say. You can have Dynatrace setup with few clicks. Here you have one agent and then environment active gate and environment active gates, because you have to have something available which is acting as a single point of uh, contact. For that you can directly connect, or the redundancy also there. Agent can directly connect or via environment active if this one is not available. So this is a possible scenario. So it's the simplest, and most of the companies goes like that, because they don't want to put more specific on service based, like how we can more mature the tool, not maintaining the tool, utilize the tool properly. So your most of the time is goes to maintain the cluster, and we have to come out on those kind of mindset. We have to focus on how we can deliver the best service to our customer or our users. So instead of, okay, this cluster is down, node is getting in maintenance mode, there are problems definitely. Like when if there is no if you can run this whole business on the cloud, then it will be easier to focus on service centric view. And this is how basically act little bit more, where you have AWS proxies, everything same. You act as a proxy, you put the load balancer, active gate, and reverse proxy. So active gate, load balancer, these are basically things they play with. And when we talk about basic infrastructure, let's talk about more on the how we can start with the, now we cover what is the on-prem, what is the cloud, how environment looks like, what how components connected to each other. Now we are going to discuss about Dynatrace, how we can I would say this browser side, then you have a web in normal applications. Basically you have a browser side, you have a web server, middleware, backend, and then you have basically services, DB call, process. So uh, without one agent installed, this is how your applications, right? And Dynatrace is made when we talk about component. This is basically normal. I will connect this dotted from here. Why I shown you without Dynatrace agent install, like one agent install. So there is a not a lot of different type of agent. When we talk about app dynamic, it require a multiple technology based agents, and that's a kind of creating a problems you have to think. But okay, you have to discuss on those configuring process and troubleshooting, everything get changed. But here you have one agent, name is one agent, and then you don't need a different agent to monitor different technology. So key component, when we go with the details, you will be hearing about one agent, you already heard. Smartscape, you will come to know, we will do practically also. Pure path, database, these are basically. So what is one agent? It's a full stack observability software that is automatically basically it's automatically detect. It's not like you have to. I'm taking a dynamic comparison as well, because when you install a dynamic agent, it's also discover the process. But you have to configure manually, inject the JVM and configure it, and it's created a creating kind of a problematic, because sometimes you have to find where to pass the argument, and it make different. So if you compare it with one agent, it's automatically detect, collect, and map the monitoring data for your application, host, process, and services, and database as well, and it will encrypt the data and send it to Dynatrace cluster or ActiveGate. So only two way you can send the data. So once the agent is installed, it will start. It will work by sending all monitoring data to your Dynatrace cluster in real time with the strong encryption algorithm. If anyone asks, okay, encryption, what kind of encryption or Dynatrace algorithm use, we will discuss on the details in very much in depth. We will discuss where the data can be decrypted by Dynatrace, no one can intercept. So understand briefly how agent collect the monitoring data. Let's consider a scenario where you have a application, and that is deployed on the server, and this is application services 1000 customer at a time. Now if you install one agent in the host machine, one agent will start its work by first detecting the most important process and that are running on the host. There are exception on Windows processes. One agent will detect these important processes and start the monitoring them, but still these processes are not deeply monitored. So you can enable that deep monitoring as well. So once agent, I showed you without agent, now with agent how it looks like. Your application network monitoring auto detected by agent. So application will be detected, network monitoring will be detected, your inside the server. So this is auto detected on by one agent, and then you can see here web server, application server, and services, DB call, everything is being monitored, and you will see that further. So there are few tips with the restart your application. So in Dynatrace cluster is set up, then what question comes, when you install agent, it will automatically detect. Yes, it will detect, but you have to restart. So for example, after agent, what is the process? So once you install the agent, you have to restart your application process. Once agent one agent basically instrument each of them, which is starts monitoring in real time, and send the data to Dynatrace cluster in encrypted format, same thing. And it is needed, basically I would like to say it is best way to try to restart your complete machine after installing, so you no need to do one by one, that is recommendation. Otherwise you will end up with, oh, this is important, this is important, and you just restart. If you are in the change window, you are doing that, you do one time restart and you are done. This is because the lightweight process that need to be instrumented on one agent start after the application process is started. So this is a kind of needed. Your process must be restarted, applications process must be this. One agent will not able to instrument that process when it is coming after, like your application comes up first and then agent is coming, then you will not able to. So best practice to keep the one agent services running and restarting other process services, and then you makes instrument smoother. Basically there are some basically part which we covering that, and let's stop today with this discussion. We will be covering further about more one agent. We'll talk we talk about we talk about Dynatrace cluster deployment. We talk about active gates, and active gate I will put more a little bit. Active gate which we discuss here, um, any active gate which provide basically what is the features. It's a data aggregation, that is one. Proxy functionality, second thing. And it can be cloud or on-prem, so you have seen that. And it is used for integrating third party tool, that we have also seen. So it ActiveGate aggregate data from one agent and provide a secure connection to the Dynatrace backend, and it can handle also the external integration. And what is one agent then? One agent collect the data, simple word, collect the data on application infrastructure on each monitoring host. This is the difference basically. And there are different type of active gate come. We talk about environment active gate, we will discuss about the synthetic active gate. So lots of active gate comes. So we will covering these topics continuing with this same flow. So today we are stopping with the discussion about the overall our discussion about the architecture, deployment mode, what component, what is the feature, and what are the steps to deploy different type of deployment architecture in the on-prem. Cloud is very simplistic, and definitely we will move with further discussion on the other component and key area, and then we will dive into the practical demo. We will be installing the agent, we will be configuring the application, we will be configuring Dynatrace, sending to the Dynatrace. We will be configuring a smart escape, we will troubleshoot that issues, we will generate the traffic. Lots of the things we are going to cover. So stay on the channel, subscribe it. Let's meet on on our next video, and we'll continue this phase. Thank you very much.